America, we got to get back to doing what's expected of us as free citizens in this democracy. That means being tolerant, being respectful, staying informed, and being engaged. I'm former Congressman Joe Walsh. Follow me here and join the millions of Americans who are renewing their social contract with each other. The social contract, it's on us. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. I was just talking to Keith, everybody. Welcome this Thursday. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not want to talk about Donald Trump every day for 4 years. I just don't. Shoot me. I don't want to do that. And I'm not going to do that. I promise you. I'd rather, again, you know what I'd rather do? I'd rather run for office. I'd rather be back in Congress. I'd rather run for president again. I'd rather do anything besides sit here with you every day and talk about this utterly horrible human being that we just put back in the White House. But I've got to talk about him for a little bit today, and especially initially. Because here's the deal, guys. Here's the deal. America, hard truth, America. Hard truth, tough truth, kind of a depressing truth, but a liberating truth because this should wake us up. Here's the truth. Donald Trump's a king. Donald Trump thinks he's a king. Donald Trump is acting like a king. And Donald Trump will continue TikTok to act like a king unless he's stopped. Unless he's stopped. Unless someone stops him. Unless someone stops him from acting like a king. You know, people talked about it during the campaign. He talked about it. I want to be a king. I want to be a dictator. And I know. And I've said this publicly so many times before. I come from MAGA. I used to be MAGA. I voted for Trump in 2016. I still engage with MAGA folk every single day. They're good, decent folk. I still engage with them every single day. Nothing depresses me more and nothing makes me more sad than the fact that my MAGA friends, MAGA out there, Trump's supporters want a king. Nothing will make me more sad than that. They want an authoritarian. MAGA wants a dictator to rule. They've told me that day after day after day. Nothing brings me more down than that. Here's the deal. He's been in office now 3 days, and he's acting like a king. He's not going to stop. Unless he's stopped. Unless Congress stops him. Unless the courts stop him. Unless any regulatory agencies stop him. Unless the American people stop him. He won't stop. 3 days. Just think about it. What's happened? 3 days. Hundreds of executive orders, many of which are just blatantly unconstitutional. He's rescinded hundreds of Biden's executive orders. He's issued 60-some proclamations and memos. He's invented emergencies. He invented an emergency at the border. He invented an energy emergency, thereby giving himself extraordinary powers. He's enacted loyalty tests up and down the federal government. He's enacted loyalty tests. He's ignored the rule of law. He's took a blowtorch to the Constitution just all in the past 3 days. Lives are already being impacted. And I can hear you, MAGA. I can hear you. Joe Obama did executive orders and Trump did some executive orders in his first term and Biden did executive orders. Right, right. And I and you and me, we've all complained about the imperial presidency, a president acting with powers that our founding fathers never, ever, ever imagined. Look, running a government, running the federal government via executive order, this is not what our founding fathers wanted. Trump has taken it like he's done with everything. I mean, think about this. This is kind of the magic of Trump. Every politician lies. Trump lies every time he opens his mouth. Every politician can engage in sort of scratching backs and corruption. Trump is a living, breathing personification of corruption. Every politician looks at the rule of law and contemplates what they can maybe try to get away with, and some try to get away with something. Donald Trump is utterly lawless. Most politicians complain about what's going on down at the border. We got to do something about immigration. We've got too many people coming into this country illegally. Donald Trump says there are billions and billions. They're eating cats and dogs. They're committing crimes on every street in America. Trump lies about it. Every single issue and every bad notion we've got about politicians, Trump takes that to a level we've never seen. And again, right, that kind of cracks me up. It should crack you up. We complain when a politician lies. Trump lies every time he opens his mouth, but his supporters don't complain about it. We've got executive orders on steroids right now. We've got Donald Trump in the past 3 days, I mean, in a flurry of authoritarian activity, taking this office of the presidency in 3 days and doing as much as he can, throwing as much up against the wall as he can before anybody can do anything. Most of what he's doing is unconstitutional. Most of what he's doing, he doesn't have the power to do. Most of what he's doing goes against the rule of law. Most of what he's doing is turning the presidency into a dictatorship. I was on the BBC yesterday, and the host looked at me and said, "Joe, so what does it feel like to have a new king in the White House?" Hundreds of executive orders, lives impacted. He ordered the Justice Department immediately to prosecute any state and local official who pushes back against his mass deportation. He's sending thousands of military troops to the border because of some border emergency he's declared. He's a king. There's no emergency at the border. Border crossings are the lowest they've been in 5 years. Deportations at the border are the highest they've been in 5 years. There's no border emergency, but the king declared a border emergency, and now he's sending troops to the border. And by the way, it's against the law for the military to engage in activity in the interior of the United States. So what can the military folks, the military troops, the soldiers do down there? They're not supposed to do anything but provide support. He's sending the military to the border. He's told all federal he's ordered all federal DEI employees to take a mandatory administrative paid leave. He's going to fire them all. Mike Walls, his national security advisor, sent 160 federal employees with the National Security Council home. He sent them home pending a review of where they are politically. loyalty tests. Do these national security federal public servants support Trump or not? Well, they can't go back to work unless they undergo a loyalty test. He's ordered the Justice Department to halt any reforms of any police department that has been found to have acted with misconduct in prior Justice Department investigations, where police engaged in misconduct. They're under investigation, local police forces all over the country. Trump, all of a sudden, the king has halted those investigations. Get this, Donald Trump yesterday ordered all federal health agencies, Health and Human Services, the FDA, all federal health agencies, Trump, the king, ordered to halt all external communications. And then the king issued another order. No federal health agency can issue any external communication, i.e., tell the public anything, until that statement has been reviewed by a political appointee at the White House. The king moving to politicize any and all health research, science research, anything our federal health agencies put out. People are going to die because of this king in the White House. I mean, on and on it goes. Ordered all federal agencies, no longer call them non-citizens, people who are in this country unlawfully. Now they've been ordered to call these people aliens. The king ordered no transgenders can serve in the military. One swift stroke of the pen. He's ended all federal DEI programs. He's stopped any refugees from coming here. In MAGA and Trump supporters, I want to speak slowly so you understand. Coming here as a refugee, claiming asylum, is a legal process. You come to this country seeking asylum. You are a refugee. You want to stay in America. You want that status. That's a legal thing to do. Donald Trump stopped that. I talked a lot yesterday about how Trump is treating God's children, how he's treating immigrants, how he's treating people who are in this country unlawfully. Donald Trump just gave his middle finger to refugees around the world. Stopped the entire process, legal process. Oh, that's what Jesus would do, right? Jesus would turn his back on refugees. By the way, Donald Trump, the king, he pardoned 1,600 domestic terrorists. He pardoned everybody on January 6th. Donald Trump, because he's stopping any and all refugees from coming into this country, he turned his back on 1,600 Afghan nationals who helped America in the war. 1,600 Afghans who worked with us year after year and who were promised admission into the United States because of their service, and they were approved for entry into the United States. Donald Trump halted these 1,500 Afghan nationals from coming into this country because no refugees. That's a great thing to do, isn't it? The king, he restored the death penalty for all federal crimes like that. and again, he's rescinded over 100 of Joe Biden's executive orders. Just so you've got an idea of what Trump did when he pardoned, when the king pardoned, uh, every January 6th offender, this guy named Stuart Rhodes, the founder of the Oath Keepers militia, this guy was in a Capitol Hill office building yesterday. He's now free. He was up on Capitol Hill just shooting the shit with other people and talking to the media. This guy, Stuart Rhodes, Oath Keepers, militia. He was found guilty of seditious conspiracy to keep Donald Trump in power. Let me say that again. This is someone who Donald Trump just set free. He was found guilty of a jury of his peers. He was found guilty of seditious conspiracy to keep Donald Trump in power. He was sentenced to 18 years in prison. In his trial, he's on tape saying, "Let's effing kill Nancy Pelosi. That's how we'll end this thing and stay in power." This guy, Stuart Rhodes, is on tape saying that. He was serving 18 years. Because of Trump, he's now out there, free. He was out there yesterday on Capitol Hill, just showing his stuff. On and on and on it goes. Look, let me just say again, at one level, all of these executive orders, all of them, withdrawing us from the World Health Organization, stopping all refugee admission, reinstating discrimination on gender identity and sex orientation, making it okay now for the federal government to discriminate on gender identity, ending all federal DEI programs, all by himself. Let me make one really important point. Donald Trump is acting like a king. He's taken this notion of executive orders to a level we've never seen it. Our founders never believed in running a government by executive order. I hope everybody left and right agrees with me, right? Our founders believed we are a country of laws, right? Our founders believed that the legislative branch is in fact, should be the most powerful branch. Our founders many of them didn't even want the office of the presidency. I know you know that. So Trump didn't start this. Like everything else that's wrong with our politics, Donald Trump is the most extreme, ugliest version. I'll say it again. Every politician lies. Donald Trump lies every time he opens his mouth. Every president of the United States, maybe with a couple exceptions, have tried to increase their executive power. Donald Trump is trying to become a king. So Trump's the worst, ugliest, most extreme version of an imperial presidency, of a president and executive orders. And I will just caution, right? We've talked about this before. All of you who are cheering on Donald Trump's executive orders, bring it on, Joe. All of you, and I hear from you every day. I do TikTok. I hear from MAGA folk every day who love all the unchecked power Trump has right now. I probably had 10, 20, 30 Trump supporters tell me just yesterday, Joe, I love the fact that Trump's doing all this by himself. I love the fact that Trump has all this power. I love that nobody can stop him. I've had so many Trump supporters tell me that in the last few days. And I remind them, and I'll remind you now, if you're okay with a president having this much power, if you're okay with a president changing government all by himself via executive order, i.e., not via law, not via the normal process where both houses pass a bill, they come together, they then agree on a compromise bill, that bill goes to the president signs it into law. That basic American politics 101. If you don't run a government that way by laws, and you try to change things with a president all by himself and a stroke of his pen, and if you're cheering this on, MAGA, remember that then means that if and when a Democratic president is elected in 2028, he can do the same. She can do the same. Like you're cheering Trump right now, changing America by his pen, through his pen. Well, if you do that, then it's really easy to reverse that with another president and his or her pen. So when Trump says with a stroke of a pen, we're no longer going to call them non-citizens, now we have to call them aliens, and you cheer that, well, a Democratic president's going to come along in 2028 and write an executive order and change it back. That's how easy it is. Trump's already reversed 100 and some of Biden's executive orders. And if you think it's really cool to end all federal DEI programs, if you think it's really cool that the president can do that all by himself, well, then don't complain when a Democratic president with her pen, his pen, puts them all back in and then some. You see, if you pass laws, if you go through the normal process and we don't have a king and we have a legislative branch, a legislative body that does their job, and a president just doesn't make law, but signs bills turning them into law, right? If you want to live in a country where a president makes law, i.e. what's going on now, i.e. we've got a king or a dictator. If you want to live in that kind of country where a president is a king and he can make law, then you can't complain when a Democratic president tries to make law too. Like Donald Trump all by himself wants to ignore the 14th Amendment, wants to get rid of people being born here, birthright citizenship. Trump, with his pen, wants to get rid of that, i.e. get rid of that 14th Amendment. Then don't complain when a new president, a Democratic president, is elected and with his or her pen, he or she wants to do away with the Second Amendment. But if you pass laws and a Democratic president comes in, well, then a Democratic president has to then try to work with and convince Congress to write a new law. That's a lot more difficult. So it's like everything with Trump supporters. You're okay with Trump lying, so you can't complain when Democratic presidents lie. You're okay with Trump engaging in open corruption, like enriching himself right now with this Bitcoin thing he's got going. So wealthy Saudis and wealthy Chinese and wealthy Russians can give him money directly, can directly give money to the president of the United States That's what Trump's doing right now. If you say you're okay with that corruption with Trump, then you can't complain when a Democratic president uses his or her office to enrich themselves personally. That's the problem with running a government via executive order. All of these Trump executive orders can be overturned in a nanosecond with a Democratic president. And when that happens, you, Trump supporter, won't be able to complain. But for the rest of us, right now, we ain't never seen this. We're living under a torrent of executive orders. We are living under right now, in essence, a dictatorship. Hundreds of executive orders, most will be appealed and taken to court. Congress isn't going to do a thing. Republicans in Congress won't do a thing to stop Trump. So many of these executive orders will be halted or paused until they are dealt with legally. But we are dealing right now with a president who doesn't give a damn about the law and doesn't give a damn about the Constitution and wouldn't know how to spell checks and balances, and he doesn't care about any of that stuff. Congress yesterday announced, Mike Johnson, the speaker, announced that they're going to form a new January 6th committee, a new January 6th committee. Mike Johnson announced that yesterday. Why? Because Donald Trump wants to rewrite January 6th. Because Trump wants a new committee. Because Trump wants to lie to the American people and present the new narrative of January 6th. So look, Republicans in Congress are going to, the scary truth is, every one of these Republicans in Congress, like Trump's voters, they don't mind. And many are okay with Trump being a king. Going to get no help from Republicans in Congress. People listening to me right now, the fastest political thing that can be done is to make sure the Democrats take back the House in 2026. But these congressional Republicans, they're all on their knees. They're going to be on their knees for 2 years in front of Trump. He will continue to be a king until he's stopped. And what he's done these first 3 days to try to unilaterally reshape this country. And I want to emphasize one more, because I believe in philosophical consistency. Even if you believe that philosophically this country needs to be reshaped, I hope you believe that no single American, no single president, no king or dictator should have the power to unilaterally reshape America. That's what's happening right now. He's making up emergencies. He's agency after agency. People who work in these federal agencies are being sent home until they can prove their loyalty to Trump, to the president. Yeah, that's one of his new executive orders. That's the kind of country you want to live in? Federal employees need to be loyal to the president, need to show that they are politically aligned with the president. Is that what you want your civil servants to be? And again, remember, and then I'm done with this. If you're okay with that, if you're okay with a king in the White House who, when he assumes power, everybody who works in the federal government, the executive branch of the federal government, they need to sign a loyalty pledge to him. that they are going to be loyal to him and loyal to his agenda. If you believe that every executive branch civil servant, not just the political appointees, but all the non-political appointees, the civil servants in the executive branch, if you believe they all need to sign that pledge of loyalty and support to this president instead of to the Constitution, then you cannot complain if a Democratic president does the same. By the way, again, you're like me, TikTok, and you're feeling, oh my God, Joe, what do we do? What do we do? What can we do? Nobody can stop them. I don't know. I don't know. I just know this. He's walked right into what we knew he'd be. He's a king. And all I think we can do at this point is inform the American people about it and rally the American people around this simple, basic notion that we don't have kings in America. No kings in America. I still believe that most Americans believe that. I no longer believe most Trump supporters believe that. I've spoken with way too many of them. I'll always try to work with them and help persuade them that it's wrong, that we don't have kings in America. But that's my work, and that's longer work. That's more difficult work. But I believe most Americans do not want kings, do not want to be ruled by a king. So I just think what we've got to do is start with a basic core truth like that. No kings. Grow a community of Americans who all embrace that truth and will publicly identify with that truth, no kings, and create numbers, millions of us who all identify with and are ready to defend that truth, no kings, millions of us. And with numbers like that, then I say, as a former politician, we can influence politicians. So to me right now, step one, we're only 3 days into his dictatorship. Step one is just identify with no kings, embrace no kings. You know, I changed my profile pic on every social media platform. There it is, Keith. Go to oneflaginitiative.org. You see the no kings meme, the no kings graphic right above my shoulder. Change your profile picture, publicly identify with that truth, no kings. If you go to oneflaginitiative.org, go to that website, become part of this growing community. It'll show you there really easily how you can embrace and change your own profile picture and embrace the no kings and share it, spread it around. Let's grow some numbers of people who will defend that truth. No kings in America. No kings. Go to oneflaginitiative.org. Go there. Join me. Let's start a movement. We've got a king in the White House. I can't defeat him. You can't defeat him. Me and my 7 best friends can't defeat him. But millions of us can. oneflaginitiative.org. Be part of No Kings. Last thing I want to briefly mention is this. Elon Musk. You know what? There's not enough shame in our politics. I believe in shame. I believe shame's a good thing. You all know, we all know what shame is. You've done something wrong. You've said something bad. And you feel bad about it. You understand you did wrong. You feel remorseful about it. You want to apologize for it. You want to fix it. You want to rectify it. Shame. The notion of shame. I've done wrong. Oh my God, I feel bad that I've done wrong. Man, this is missing from our politics. Again, it seems to be the pervasive theme today. Trump is the worst example of this. Donald Trump is humanly incapable of shame. Truly. It's almost his secret sauce. It's why the office of the presidency doesn't age him or impact him. Donald Trump, his whole life, has never he doesn't feel bad. He doesn't feel remorseful when he does wrong. He doesn't recognize right from wrong. He doesn't care if he does wrong. He doesn't care if he tells a lie. He doesn't care if he hurts somebody's feelings. Donald Trump doesn't give a damn if he's cruel or divisive. He doesn't feel bad about anything he's done. It's impressive. Trump is incapable of shame. Now, almost every Republican tries to imitate and replicate Trump. And so they all, when they've done something bad or wrong, or when they've been caught in a lie or caught in bad behavior, none of them apologize. None of them resign. None of them said, I did wrong. None of them perform penance. No, Republicans have learned from Trump. When you do something bad, wrong, corrupt, or illegal, just say fuck it and fight back. Don't ever acknowledge you've done wrong. That's what Trump does naturally. Republicans now copy him. Republicans have learned never to exhibit shame. Elon Musk, I think he's a bad guy. I think he's a dishonest guy. I think he's a child. I think he's utterly immature. He's a child. So, but I just want to make one point about Elon Musk and this Nazi salute, right? Last point. You talk about an absence of shame. The facts are this: Elon Musk and this Nazi salute. The fact is that at that rally, the gesture Elon Musk made was a perfect Nazi salute. If you look at Nazi salutes, historically, what they are, the Nazis that still exist that are doing Nazi salutes. You look at some of these protesters, these pro-Gaza protesters who proudly do Nazi salutes. You look at what the gesture is. Elon Musk perfectly imitated that. Elon Musk at a Trump rally, it's just a fact. What he did, the gesture that was made, was a perfect Nazi salute. That's a fact. That we know. The question is, did Elon Musk intend to do it? Did he know he was doing it? We don't know that. Only Elon Musk knows that. Right? That makes sense to you, right? It's like, even if he accidentally did it, even if he just kind of, because Elon's kind of awkward and he just awkwardly did it, the fact is, it was a perfect Nazi salute. Only he knows if he meant to do it. But here's the deal. We're 3 to 4 days later. Like, use me as an example. If I, at a rally, accidentally did a perfect Nazi salute, I love you guys, boom, and I didn't realize I was doing it. And after the rally, it went viral on social media and people were accusing me of doing the Nazi salute. You know what I would have done immediately? I would have felt horrible. I would have felt shame. Like, I didn't mean to do it. But the gesture is a Nazi salute, and people mistook it for that, and people interpreted it as that. I would have felt immense shame. I would have immediately, here's what I would have done. I would have immediately apologized. I would have said, "Oh my God, I'm sorry. Oh my God, I was just saying how much I love you all. I did not mean at all to do a gesture that's the Nazi salute. I mean, my God, I would fucking never, ever do a Nazi salute. Nazis are evil. Nazism is evil. I love Israel. I'm married to a Jewish woman. I want to retire and die in Israel. Fuck the Nazis. I apologize for everybody who saw that and thought I might have done a Nazi salute. I am sorry for that. No way, no how did I mean to do that. Fuck the Nazis. If what happened to Elon Musk happened to me, that's how I would have responded. Because I would have felt bad for what I did. I would have felt shame. Here we are 4 days later. Elon Musk has never said that. Elon Musk has never said any of that. Elon Musk has never said, oh my God, fuck no. Fuck, I would never do a Nazi salute. I apologize if it looked like it. I would never do it. Nazis are bad. Nazis are evil. Elon Musk has never said any of that. All Elon Musk has done is make fun of it and gone after people who've accused him of doing it. All he's done is be a troll. All Elon Musk would have to do is say, fuck no. I would never do a Nazi salute. But Elon Musk has learned from Trump, and I don't know Elon, maybe Elon's incapable of shame. But Elon Musk is not going to apologize, is not going to publicly exhibit any shame, is not going to publicly exhibit, oh my God, I feel bad for that. I'm sorry it looked like that. Because Trump has taught people in this country that to feel shame for what you've done, even if you didn't intend to do something, you still made a mistake. Trump has taught people, his supporters, that shame is a weakness. To apologize is a weakness. To admit wrongdoing is a weakness. What a shame that is. Nothing more difficult than apologizing when you've messed up. That's not a sign of weakness. That's a sign of strength. But because of Trump now, we live in a political world utterly devoid of shame. What a shame that is. Thanks for listening, everybody. My email, if you want to shoot me an email, joewalshwhiteflag@gmail.com. All one word. joewalshwhiteflag@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. As always, TikTok. Everybody else, be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow The Social Contract with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been The Social Contract.